What up, guys? Jason Guyman here with ChristmasLights.io, ChristmasLightsHelp.com. And I just am excited because I'm starting to see some Christmas lights come on. And I always love when I get to see Christmas lights come on. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I know that I have one of my buddies that does Christmas lights. A bunch of guys I know have installed lights a lot. And the cool thing about that is there has been a lot of people that have kept their lights on. So with all the crap going on, and so it is something that is pretty cool. So tonight, I went by the church, one church at the end of our road. All the lights are on. They got the whole town lit up. David owns Dreamy Whip, and he has done everything with that of getting those lights on and getting them up and everything along those lines. So it is pretty cool to see Christmas lights starting to go up. I did some lights at, I did some lights that, I did some lights at my mom's house. I don't know if I can pull them up here or not. I did them on. Let's see if it'll show up and not look stupid. This tree does not look anything like this. It kind of scrunched it all down. But this is some twinkly lights that I put up on a Christmas tree. It does not look that fat. It's just the way that my screen has scrunched it and done it. And yes, I know I have a spot right up in here. You can see the one line that's supposed to be there came down, and I didn't get it up before that. But it is pretty cool. I did these in twinkly lights. I did it for 2 videos. I will have them coming out shortly. I'm working on them on the editing side of them right now. And so it is something that I did. This tree took me about 20-25 minutes to install. It's about a 25-foot tree, 25-foot tree. And I will have some videos on how to install them, and also how to set up the twinkly lights and all of that kind of stuff. So the twinkly lights are a lot of fun, and so that is definitely what we will get started, or what I will show. That I'm gonna go back to this other one because this kind of, I don't like that fat looking tree. So, with that said, how's everybody doing tonight? What have you all been doing? I do know that some people in the Christmas light business, in the phone has been ringing off the hook. I hope that is for you, and you are not very loud. Let's see if that will help. I know what I can do to make this louder. How's that sound? Is that better? And so that is something. Let's see if that helped my volume out to get me up a little bit louder. So let me know if that helped my volume out. You install a reef? No, I did not install the reef. Especially a reef. That reef is something out in the ocean, and I did not install that reef. It's kind of hard to install a reef out in the ocean. Um, but it was, like I say, I had to be over there watching my mom, and I had some twinkly lights in the back of my Jeep, and I'm like, I'm going to put them up and get them done. And so I did want some videos, and so that is why I did that for, was to get videos, because I love getting videos. Installed 5 houses already. That is awesome. That is awesome in Denver. Denver's a good market. Denver's a really good market. But again, we just need to make sure that if we're installing them, there is some stuff that I know that, some of the material is kind of gotten a little crazy to find. Some of it's been out of stock and that kind of stuff. Some people are starting to get some more stuff in, so that is a good thing. And so those are definitely some things that we need to look at. Of, this is why we have to price it what we are. First year in lights, done 5 installs so far. Started off early. Honk your videos. So a big thank you, Northern Kentucky. Where are you at, Northern Kentucky? Big thank you from Northern Kentucky. Where are you from, Northern Kentucky? Hydro Works. Um, awesome watching. Started watching. uh, big thank you from Northern Kentucky. Awesome. But yeah, so Christmas lights is definitely, there's plenty of money to be made in it. Obviously, we got to find the right customers. We got to find, Independence, good area. You got to find the right customers. It's not about just finding customers; it's about finding the right customers. And I know there is a lot of people installing. I know you, especially you, um, HydroWorks, of seeing the We Hang Christmas lights with that Austin's business over in Ohio, and I know he has. I mean, I know he put out hundreds. I bet he put out 300 or 400 signs that week or that weekend, and they were everywhere. They were in Northern Kentucky. I went way up in Ohio. They were up in Ohio, all the way up in Lebanon. And so, when you go put a bunch of signs out, it's going to get your phone to ring. And when your phone's ringing, you got to answer it. And when you answer it and you get them quotes back out pretty quick, you will get work. And yes, you're probably not going to get everybody. You don't want everybody. You, especially if you're working by yourself, you only want the ones you want. We are killing it here in Mason, Westchester, and Liberty Township. And I tell you another place that is get over there on, if you're close to Loveland. Loveland is another place that is a great place, Mike. That's another awesome place, is over there in Loveland. We killed it in Loveland, which obviously you got Indian Hill, but sometimes Indian Hill is a really rich neighborhood for everybody that don't know that. And just because it's uh, just because it's a rich neighborhood, I mean, these people are like super duper rich. Doesn't always mean it's the right customer. Sometimes those people are so tight they don't want to pay either. So again, it's one of those things. Obviously, when we're up on these roofs, we want to make sure you guys are taking safety precautions. Don't do sketchy stuff. If you're installing, I don't care if you're a one first time installer or if you've been doing this for years. I'm gonna say it again. Don't do sketchy stuff. If you can tie off, tie off. If you can use the goat, make sure you're using goat. Make sure you're using cougar paws. Cougar paws work very well. These are some things to make sure that you don't fall off. The last thing you want to do is fall off and get hurt or die, because if you're dead, it doesn't do us no good. So make sure that you are, being safe. Don't do sketchy stuff. You know, fear, I talk about fear a lot. Fear can be good and fear can be bad. And a lot of times when we're on roofs and the fear of falling is a good thing. That's one of those things that keep us in check, because all it takes is one wrong step, wrong you step on a shingle and that shingle slides out from you, and that is the end of you. That's period. That's the end of you. And so, make sure that we are being safe when we're installing lights. And I know you guys know this, but I want to make sure, because the last thing I want you to do is have to have somebody call one of your loved ones and say you're dead. And so, there is not any amount of money worth dying for putting up Christmas lights. If it takes a few seconds longer to be safe, if it takes 5-10 minutes longer to do it safe versus sketchy, take the 5 to 10 minutes longer route. Because at the end of the day, that few seconds that you saved of doing something sketchy and you fall off and you're in the hospital, it don't do you no good. It's going to cost you a lot more in the end than that 5 or 10 minutes of setting up something not so sketchy. So definitely make sure when we're hanging Christmas lights that we are being safe. There's several things out there that we can use to be safe. Yes, I know they cost money, but again, $1,000 worth of safety equipment is a lot cheaper than a $10,000, $100,000 hospital bill. I guarantee you that much. And if you have employees, it's even more critical that you have the right safety equipment, the right stuff for them. You know, I had one guy, he didn't want to use the safety equipment, and you know, when you have employees, you have to at least provide it. If they use it, if they don't use it, and you teach them and you show them the right way and you do it the right way when they are around, you have to also do it right. You can't just say, here, do it this way, but I'm going to do it that way, because it don't work that way. You have to do it safe, so that way. And you know, it comes down to even doing it off, even if you're doing it on a ladder, you know, you can buy the little stabilizers that you can put on each side of the ladder to keep that ladder straight. You know, have I ever taken a rock, taken a stick, something to prop that ladder up? I might have a time or two, but don't do it. That's what I'm telling you. Do not do that. You know, have I dug a hole in the ground and get that side down? Yes, and that's not that I can do it. But you know, make sure you guys are being safe out there. You know, getting up on these roofs, it can be very dangerous. I know I got two guys around here doing it, and it can definitely be very dangerous. It can be very profitable, but it can be very dangerous. You know, and to find those customers and just be safe up there. You know, like I say, one slip and fall, you're done, and there is no second chances when you fall off of a roof, especially from a second story roof. If you live, that is your second chance, and if you can eat with your fork, that is your second chance. You know, don't do stupid stuff. You know, I know somebody that fell off one story and died. And so a lot of times we get in a mindset of, it's just one story, I'll be fine. No, don't do stupid stuff. If you fall and hit something just right and break your neck, you're dead. And yes, a fall from the first floor, first story, can kill you. So definitely make sure that you do stuff safe and not sketchy, because sketchy stuff is not good in the end. So just be careful out there. You know, I love hanging Christmas lights. I love seeing Christmas lights going up, but I also want you to be safe. Like I say, you can use the goat. I love the goat. It gives you handholds, it gives you footholds. You can use another thing you can use up on a roof, works really well. Obviously, your cougar paws work really good. I've also a couch cushion. You can take a couch cushion up there and you can sit on a couch cushion and you are very good. You won't move at all on a couch cushion. That's why you see a lot of roofers use couch cushions. So couch cushions are very good too, to keep you safe. And again, it's about, and this doesn't matter if you are a homeowner or if you are someone wanting to hang lights as a business. Stay safe. Some other things. Remember, we are dealing with electricity. Yes, I know electricity is 110, and you might think, oh, 110 ain't going to hurt me. I can use 110, won't kill you. Well, I'm going to tell you a little story that happened to an employee. This was after I sold the business, but it's still, um, it is still what I did. And so he was, so putting on our males and females, you slide the little cap. I don't know if I have any around here. You slide the little cap on the back of it, and 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 so when he would do this, one of my other employees decided just to use his teeth to slide these on versus a pair of pliers. So that way, you know, because a pair of pliers costs $5 if we break them, but a tooth costs $1,000. It's much better to use $1,000 tool if we break something versus a $5 tool and the headache of doing it. So he would put it in his mouth and do it. Well, the helper dude, he I don't know, he wasn't all upstairs, and I told him don't do it. So he was sliding a mail on, and you know I always talk about a hot mail, and people always be like, "Oh, you're stupid, Jason. You should never use a hot mail." Well, you know what? You're right. You're right. You shouldn't use a hot mail. There should never be a hot mail, but sometimes the hot mail comes in. So he's sliding this mail on. He slides it on, and he puts it in his mouth. And when he does, the male and female gets him on both sides of his lip, and it left a scar. Even to this day, he's got a scar there, where it shocked. It went through, and it shocked him so much that it knocked him down on the ground, and knocked him down on the ground. So again, remember, we are dealing with electricity. It is if it's not turned off, it is hot and it can shock you. You know, and I had some guys that would be like, well, if you cut it real fast, then you don't have to go down and turn it on and off. It's like, really, guys, come on now. You know, they make the timers that you got an on and off button. You can sit there and turn it on and off with a remote. Cost you 10, $12, and you can and turn them on and off so that way you can work on them. I mean, I've installed the lights in the dark time. You roll these babies out, you turn them all on so you got light to see, and you start installing them up there with the lights on so you can see, because at nighttime you can't see. And so I've installed lights on at nighttime. Let's see if I got a picture of that house I did at nighttime. Is this one here? Nope, that's not it. Nope. I must not have a picture of it anywhere. I thought I had a picture of it. But I had a picture of one at night. And yes, I have installed at nighttime. It does suck. I'm not going to lie. It does suck. But it can be done in, let's see what that one. Nope, that's some twinklies. I don't see the ones, but I have installed some big light jobs. That was at night, and it wasn't fun. But again, you know, just be careful out there, guys. I know I keep saying that, but don't do stupid stuff. It's not worth getting hurt and hurting yourself. What all do you hang the minis on? Trees, bushes, and you can do posts kind of like this post here. That's about it. Trees, bushes, and post. You can see the bushes down here. That's about it. Remember to remove the upholstery on the couch cushion and just use the foam. Yeah, that wouldn't work very good for sure. And also, when you do that, make sure you kind of get the fire retardant crap off of the cushion. Otherwise, it's going to leave white residue all over your roof, and that's not a good thing. And so, definitely make sure you do that. But again, guys, I just wanted to, you know, be safe. Don't do stupid stuff. Don't get in a hurry, because when you get in a hurry, that is what causes issues. What's good phrases to Google to see if there's anyone in my area that already provides this service? Christmas light installation only brings up Home Depot. Christmas light installers. Here, we can look up some real quick. I think I can do that. Let's see. Let's go find out. So we're gonna go Christmas light, Christmas light installers. If I can spell, Christmas light, and I'm on images. Christmas light installers. So there is the Google. Right here is Google. These are Google guarantee, and so I don't know how easy it's going to be to get Christmas lights in here. If you could get Christmas lights here, you could make some money off these, because these leads only cost like $20, a guaranteed lead for $20. Not a click, but a guaranteed lead. Like, it is a guaranteed lead. Now, I haven't tried to do it for Christmas lights yet for anybody, so I don't know how that's going to work. We have an ad right here. So Christmas light installer. This is an ad right here. So yourholidaylights.com is a Christmas ad, and then Get All Clean is a Christmas light. So here you can see Christmas Light Cincinnati is 4.7 miles away. That is one of my websites there. Christmas Light Cincinnati. Another one, this is not my website here. And Christmas light installation hangers. This one's actually out of Indianapolis. There is more installers than that around this area, and I know that there is, but that is some of it there. So Christmas light installers. The other thing you can do is just start typing in up here. Just start typing in up here and see what Google says. Hey, Christmas light installers near me, and in that way we can see what Christmas light installers near me, Christmas light Cincinnati, Christmas light installers, all of that kind of stuff. Some other words we can use is holiday light installers near me, holiday light installers near me. And so again, you can see that there is some holiday light. They're all still the same, Batavia, Ohio, all different kinds of stuff there. So that is another way we can type in. Another one would be Xmas lights installers. Let's see if that brings anything up. So Christmas lights Cincinnati, Christmas lights Cincinnati, Cincinnati light Christmas light installers. So you can see there's all different kinds there. So those are some words that you can do. Let's see if we can do this one. We hang Christmas. Because here's the thing, I know there's a lot of signs out there. There's a lot of signs, especially in the northern Kentucky area, a lot of signs that have "we hang Christmas lights." So guess what? I want to make sure that we hang Christmas lights, that we could come up. And if I don't come up in here, which it didn't bring up maps, I want to make sure that I'm paying ads and having "we hang Christmas lights," because that's the last thing I want to do is put stuff on the signs that I'm not making sure I'm number one on. So that way, when they see my sign, they're going to type this in. So right now in northern Kentucky, I said it in the beginning of this, there's a dude that probably put out 300 to 500 signs in a weekend. They're all the way from northern Kentucky all the way to the northern part of Ohio and on the northern side of Cincinnati. And it says "we hang Christmas lights." So when I type in "we hang Christmas lights," his business is nowhere even on here. Period. I know the name of his business. I know it. I know the website of the business, and it's not even on here at all. "We hang Christmas light." Getallclean.com is the business I sold. I know that one. That one is not him. And so with that said, he's spending money on signs that people are going to type in that they're not even going to find him. So if you put a sign out there that says something that they're going to type in to try to find you, make sure they can find you. That's the key of it. If they can't find you, then that's a problem. That's a big problem. Hope that makes sense to y'all. I waited on my Google My Business verification card, and the day before the postcard arrived, I edited the name of my business, and now I have to wait again for another one. Yeah. Hey, and hang on here, Brian. I'm going to do your website since I forgot to do it earlier. Jason, do you know where I can find out how to get my photos to show up in the maps? Photos near me. Make sure you are putting the name of them. Make sure you're naming them. That will help. And just keep uploading. That's what you're going to have to do. This is driving me crazy here. Let's see. I had to wait 18 days for the B. Walter. I am so nervous about all the calls and estimates I'm giving and not having enough lights. I have to order more lights as I go. Is that normal? Yeah, it is. And right now isn't bad, but when we get closer to Thanksgiving, make sure it's kind of one of those things you're going to have to gamble and buy lights, and hopefully you can sell those lights, because people will start running out of lights, and that is the issue when people start running out of lights. And if we are charging enough and making profit, then it doesn't, at that point, we can order a little bit and we're not hurting ourselves. So, make sure that that's why, I try to tell people to charge $6 to $8. So that way we're in profit mode. We're not in, hey, we're going to just make enough money to cover materials, because that's stupid at the end of the day. Why do I want to get up on this roof and take a chance of falling off I cover my materials? Because that does nobody good. I geotagged and named and everything. I have 140. Awesome. So let me see something here. Brian, let me see Brian. He wanted me to look at his website. So I'm going to look at your website in front of everybody if I can find it. So I haven't even looked at it, dude. So it better be good. I will look at it here before I get going here. Let's see. So Brian is in Chattanooga, just real close to Tennessee. Let's see if it'll come up there. Paste. All right, man. I know these pictures. All right, so let's see here. So this is the website of a website. So looks good so far. You kind of got the design. Christmas light Chattanooga. Your services and up here, it's kind of hard to read. Your phone number is big, which is good. I don't know if it's clickable or not, but it definitely needs to be clickable. Services, house outlines, trees, bushes, wreath. I know this is a good picture for a lot, but I would try to get rid of these lights somehow or another. The double lights here, you can use a photo app or something. You can see how the lights are like the double roof. It looks like it's a double roof. This is the house actually I lit up at nighttime. This house was one we had to turn all the lights on so that we could see because it was so dark. Bushes, that's good. About us, I would talk about a little bit about the service, how the service works, even on this front page here. I would talk about how it is an all-inclusive service. I would talk about it somewhere probably up top here. I wouldn't go into pricing at all, wouldn't go into minimums, none of that. But I would talk, because right now it doesn't talk about if I own the lights, how the service works, all of that kind of thing. So I would definitely look at that. That is definitely one thing that I would look at and I would do. So that way you can, that way you're going to answer a lot of questions beforehand and people can see that. So the name, phone number, email address, zip code, city. This here, I probably wouldn't make mandatory. I would not make this mandatory just because it's one more thing they have to click. And if they got to click other things, they may not, they may not, they may not want that. I mean, they may not want to put that information in. So make sure. Also, yeah, so that phone number is up there. I don't know what I hit. So just make sure that is good. It is good to show your picture. That way they can see it. Request a quote. I might even put again, we got to make it simple. I know the phone number is there, but I might even put another phone number somewhere here so that way they can see it. And then obviously we always want to look and see kind of what it's going to look like in mobile. And right now, if that's, let's see what it does. Nope. If that is mobile, that is not good. I don't know if it's mobile or not. It does show the mobile down here. So definitely make sure that you check it in mobile, because if that is mobile, I would definitely want to make sure that that is not a good website right now in mobile. So check it in mobile. I have not checked it in mobile. Usually that is mobile where I just did that, and we want to make sure that it is good. And then one other thing here, gtmetrics.com. Bam. That is not what I wanted. Google. Google. So let's see if I can find it here. GT Metrics. GT Metrics. Let's see if that'll pull it up. Yeah, here we go. Speed, website speed. Put your website in here. I'm going to put it here. This is a good way to test your site. This is anybody, you can test your site this way. This will tell you how fast it is. We really want it to be fast. We really want it to be about 4 to 6 seconds is okay. I like it 4. They say as long as it's under 6, it's good. If it's over 6, then that is when we start having issues. So we want to make sure that we are not too long. And so it's going to sit here. It's going to do its thing, and then it's going to tell us. So for this website to be fully loaded is 11.3 seconds. That is way too long. That is twice as long as what it needs to be. And so what that means is people will bounce fast. So we need to get that down. There's a couple factors that can cause that. There's a bunch of factors, but a couple of the factors is if we use big photos, if we use the original size photos and we stick them in there, and there's a I think it's called tiny PNG or something. It will make that photo smaller, and so that way it's not a big, huge file. We can use that, or we can use a, the other thing is there is a your hosting. If you have a hosting that has multiple people on that, if it's a shared hosting, that can cause it also. All right. B. Walter, can you tell me how you did your minimum price again? I'm doing $600 when I get calls. Yeah, so I would always this would be my phone script. So hey, how you doing? Blah 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 blah. I can help you with that. You know, we do into Christmas lights. So this is how my service works. Is we help you design it. Then we will bring the lights. We install all the lights on your house. And then once the lights are up and you're happy, if any of the lights go out, we will be back within a 24-hour period to make sure that all your lights are still up and running all the way through the whole season. At the end of the season, sometime in January, we come back and take everything down. And so that way you have no mess, you have nothing. So our minimum is $600, and our average house is about $1,000, and that is your elevator speech. So that way you pre-qualify people, and if they don't like it, you're not wasting your time. If they say, you're going to get 2 responses. You're going to hear, what? I would never pay that. Okay, good. You know, I appreciate the business. Thank you. Bye, 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 bye. Or you're going to get, okay. And that's the ones. So that's how we want to pre-qualify our folks. So that way we can do that. Now, if we can kind of get an idea of a budget, you know, what you're looking for budget, that way, you know, and here's the other thing, not so much that, I take that back. So what I'm going to do is a $600 and $1,000 $1,000 is our average ticket. Now, our average ticket was way higher than that, but I'm not going to say that because that's going to really scare people away. But when I say $1,000, I am going to give them $1,000 option. Here is $1,000 option. Now, here's a $3,000 option too, but I'm going to give them $1,000 option. So that way they know that they have $1,000 option. And that way they will, that way they know what to do. You know what I mean? Because the last thing we want to do is tell them that our average ticket is $1,000, and then we give them a $5,000 package, and they're going to be like, I thought you said there was $1,000. Yep, you're right. This one front line here is $1,000. You know what I mean? So that's why we want to give them $1,000 option, but we also don't just limit it to that $1,000. Because what is our goal? Our goal is to get our average ticket up as high as we can. Because if we can get our ticket up to average ticket up to $1,800 per job, we're making some money at that point. We can grow and scale this business and be very successful. Now, is that going to be easy at first? No. Your first year, it's going to be tough. As in, it's going to be tough because first off, if we don't believe if we don't believe people will pay $1,000, it's hard to sell $1,000 ticket, a $3,000 ticket, a $2,000 ticket. It is really hard to sell that if we don't even believe it. But when we year two, we know dumb people paid 18, 2,000, $2,500. It's a lot easier to sell it at that point because it's like I know there's people out there that will buy it, and when we believe it, they believe it. People know if you believe it or not. Yes, yes, that's exactly what I do. I would put the basic package is $1,000, and then the next package might be so. For instance, C9s would be $1,000. C9 and a wreath would be 1,200 or 1,300. C9 wreath in the bushes would be that. And so when you get the master package, it's going to give you the most, but it's going to include all the other little things. So that is why we want to be able to do uh, packages because packages is what, again, you can use responsibility. And like I say, we're going to just make sure that that package is, we're going to give them $1,000 option because if we don't, we're going to lose more customers. We're not going to close as many. So we want to give them $1,000 option. The $1,000 option might be C9s and a wreath. That's $1,000 option, you know. So, or we can give a lower price than that. If you want to just do C9s, it's this price. C9s and a wreath is this price. C9s and wreath and bushes is this price. Or C9s wreath and a tree, this price. So it's all about options because we want to give them options. We don't want to limit it ourselves of saying, well, I think well, you know what, who cares what you think? Let's see what they think when they open their wallet. If they're willing to open their wallet, and how much are they willing to open the wallet? Because when people open their wallet, that means a whole lot more than what you think, because what you think means nothing if they're not willing to open the wallet. If they are willing the wallet, then what you think still don't mean nothing, because you might think they might only give you this, and in the end they might give you a lot more. Or so just be on your toes when you're doing it, so that way you understand bidding and all that kind of thing. But again, this is the time to, the phone will ring. Get your signs out there. If you got signs, I would be plastering them bad boys everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Right now, this week, maybe, if you don't have your signs yet, get your signs, and I mean get them now, because if you don't get your signs and get them out, it's not going to do you. We're at this point now. What is the day? We are at, today is the 6th, 7th, or the 5th. Today's the 5th. You need to order signs today or tomorrow. If you're wanting to start Christmas light business, you got to start putting your signs out, and I mean put them bad boys out everywhere, um, everywhere. If you don't, you won't get jobs. That's the way it is. Um, did your friend say yes to the bid you gave him last in the video? He did not. Um, they just bought that place, and I gave him a heck of a deal. And the minis alone was going to be my price. The minis alone was going to be almost like $2,500, $3,000, and so he didn't think it was going to cost that much. So it's not going to get done, but that's all right. Um, I might still work something out with him. We'll see. But again, um, you know, minis aren't cheap. That's the issue with minis. They're not cheap. Could I've done it in C9s? I probably could have did it in C9s and made it look okay. But it is what it is. So Um, it is what it is. So again, there again, I didn't set the precedent of how much it would be, and when I didn't do that, guess what? That's what happens. People think that this stuff is cheap, and at the end, it is not cheap. You know, it is not cheap at all. When you're paying that much out, that's what happens. Um, so I wasn't going to make hardly. I wasn't going to make no money off of it. I very little. So, but it is what it is. So, if if you want to um, be successful and profitable, you got to charge. And how do you charge? You got to get the phone to ring. And when the phone rings, you will be successful and you will be profitable. And that is the key. Getting that phone to ring. If you can't get the phone to ring, you're gonna struggle starting a Christmas light business because it's the game of how many times you can get that phone to ring. Because we know that out of 10 jobs, you're only going to close two. So that means you're going to get 8 no's and 2 yeses. And so, how do we get those 2 yeses? By getting the phone to ring 10 times. You know, and sometimes we got to get the phone to ring 20 times to get 4. And it might be 16, 17, 18 of those 20 calls. So, um, but it is something that it will work, and it does work. And I know that I got a message today. Let's see if I can. Where did I get that message at today? I got a message today. Let's see. Where did I get it? I think I got it here. I'll read it to you. I don't think I can show it to you. Let's see. It said, and this was a guy that when he started, he was starting because he wanted to keep his guys busy. I don't know where he messaged me somewhere. He wanted to keep his guys busy during the wintertime because he owned a lawn care business. And he's like, I am so busy, I don't even know which way is up. I put a post on the Christmas light page in my group. So if you're in part of the membership, you can go and it's in that group. And he's like, I'm ready for this phone to stop ringing because it is ringing. He had, let's see if I can find it here, so that way you believe me and don't think I'm lying to you. Because why do I have to lie? I don't care. I will show you because I like showing people success. Success is awesome. Success is definitely something that you all can have and do and be successful. And so that is the awesome things. So, right here, let's see. So, reason why I put this on here is because I knew he had told me earlier. But right here, it says calls should be coming in. And Jason Murphy, haha, someone make it stop. So, let's see. Jason Guyman, the next time I'm up your way, I'm buying you a beer. This season is absolutely insane. And again, this was a guy that was starting his business so that he could keep his guys busy. I know he's has some really high quotes out there, jobs, and so that is he does because he's got like a city. It's like a 25 or 30,000. One of them is a 25 or a $30,000 bid. And this guy here started 2 years ago. And when he started, he didn't actually come to my training till like the 10th, November 10th, and did like 28 or 29,000 his first year. I think he did 75 or 100, close to 100 last year, and this year he said he's probably going to hit 250 just in Christmas lights. So it can be done. It can be done. It can be done. Does it take work? Yes, it does take work, but it definitely can be done. Do you use the same strategy in Christmas lights business as you do your pressure washing for when you get more than 3 weeks out to raise your prices? In Christmas lights, raise them no, because 3 weeks out you're going to be already in Thanksgiving and you're too late. This is something you don't want to come in. You better be at least $6 a foot and go up from there. In all honesty, I would almost shoot for $7, $8 a foot, maybe discount down a little bit so that way they feel like they're getting a little jelly for when it's sliding in. But again, it is expensive. So, here's the thing. So let's just say that if somebody's at $6 a foot, and we're going to keep easy math $100, and that's $600. Well, if I'm at $800, if I'm at $8 a foot, that's $800. If somebody's not willing to pay $800, they're probably not willing to pay $600. And so, that's just kind of how it is. So go with it, shoot for the moon, and make it happen. And when I would discount down, those discounts would only be for 3-year agreements. So that way, when I go next year, I'll have that 3-year agreement that can keep me going. How did you make your own basic website? Did you pay someone or did you pay for a software to make it yourself? I just did it through WordPress, and I can show it to you. Actually, I did mine through WordPress, and I'll tell you how you can do it if you want to go on the cheap. This one here was I did it, but I did pay somebody a little bit to do. I actually went to Fiverr and I paid $40, and he kind of gave me the framework of it, and then from there I added what I wanted. And this is an old site, so just cringe a little bit, not too much. But this is an old site, and it brought us lots of money. Last year it brought $500,000 worth. Again, I kind of talk about this. Here was a review. They never kept up. The people I sold it to took the website and they never kept up with the plugins. So this was a plugin that showed all reviews. It talks about how we are professional light installers, how we handle all the details, blah, 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 blah. You can get a quote. Wedding lights, residential. This was a house that I did for wedding lights, residential. Again, this is kind of the same thing. And I did a time lapse of us taking them down. This is one thing that I did to try to get more traffic coming to my website. There's a lot of places in northern Kentucky that have some like really cool houses that put on like crazy light shows. And so I would put these on here. And so like this one, Burlington, Kentucky, there was 5 locations, and I just put, their address, everything. And then that way people would go and see it. And so that was something that I did to try to drive traffic to my website. But again, this website, the phone number is small up here. I do have a get a quote button there. I don't have no phone number down here. It's all the way down here. And so, this was the copyright of 2017. So, and I probably hadn't worked on it since about 15, 16. So this website is old, but it drawed a lot of money. So it can definitely make money. And the phone does ring when you try. And the phone does ring when you try. Yeah, if you put out signs and stuff, a phone is not going to make a website is not going to make your phone ring. Period. If you just build a website and think that your phone's just going to start blowing up, good luck on that, because it's not going to happen. I promise you that. Building a website is not just going to make your phone ring. Period. I would bet money on it. $6.75 a foot and giving very little discount, but we can only do 1 or 2 jobs a day, and we're getting close to Thanksgiving. Now think about raising them. Honestly, the week of Thanksgiving, your phone will blow up. That is when your phone will blow up. Right now, it's starting to ring, but it will blow up the week of Thanksgiving. That is a guaranteed. If you got signs out, you got things the way people getting a hold of you, that is when it will blow up. I like the wedding idea. Are you getting married again? I'm getting $8 and $9 a foot, but see people underbid me at $2 a foot. can't imagine they do a very nice job. Well, it's not so much that they won't do a nice job. It's a matter that they're not going to come take it down. They're not going to fix when it breaks, and they're not going to be in business next year. That's how that works. $2 a foot, they will be gone next year, or not your customer. Yep, and that's exactly right. That's exactly right. If they're not your customer, that we don't want them, and when we don't want them, guess what? We'll let somebody else have them. You know, and that's where we sell. We deal with professional stuff. We have professional equipment. We have we will promise that we will come back and turn them. You know, if you have any issues, we will come take them back down. Because the $2 a foot guy probably ain't even going to take them down because he has lost so much money through the season. He don't have no money to go take them back down. So that's the problem with the $2 a foot guy. But you know, hey, that's the beauty of it. You know, you can sell them for 15 or $6, $8, $9 a foot, and they can sell them for $2 a foot. You know, you pick which one you want. Do you want to do lots of jobs and make no money, or do you want to do a couple jobs? You know, do 100 jobs and make lots of money. You know, and is there money in the $2 to $3? Yeah, I know some people that do $2 to $3, and they have thousands of customers, and their margins are very tight, and they make some money. But I also know a lot more guys that have 100, 200, 300 clients and make the same amount, if not more money, than the guy with all the customers. So guess what? I want to be the guy that does that. Them prices got to be Home Depot. And Home Depot lights ain't cheap either, dude. I mean, I had a customer was like, "Man, you're high." It was like a $1,200 bid. Well, they went and bought all the lights, and they were at like $700, $700, and they hadn't even installed them yet. So guess what? They still paid us and took all their lights back because they're like, "This is stupid." And he is probably using Home Depot. My biggest selling point is you never need to touch the lights. Yep, it's an all inclusive service. That is, people understand what that is. You don't have to ever touch them, and it's an all inclusive service. And that is the beautiful thing. So, your clips should be coming in, Richard. They should be. I don't know if they're going to make it this weekend. I got the tracking number on them. It was another foo bar stuff set up, so it is coming. Think that you're going to get another set of minis, 2 sets of minis. So I'm going to either you need to ship them back, or I'm going to have to. You'll have to pay them up somehow or another. I'll have to get you a link or something. So let me know what you want to do on that. If they don't want them anymore, I'm assuming I can keep the installation fee, correct? If they don't want them anymore, I'm assuming. Yeah, I can take. I'm going to take the lights back down, and I'm going to use them next year. Um, I'm going to use them next year on somebody else's house, and yes, I can use them on somebody else's house. Um, it's not going to be as pretty, but you can't tell the difference. It's just not going to be as easy. Okay. I'll have to probably send you. I don't know. I'll have to figure out a link to send you. But again, Christmas lights are very profitable. One other thing, make sure we're being safe. Last thing I want you to do is fall off of a roof, fall out of a tree. You know, all the stupid stuff that happens. We got to be safe. At the end of the day, if we're not safe, it doesn't do us no good. So. I know I've been pushing safety a little bit, but man, I want you all to be safe. You know, no $5,000 job is worth falling off and getting a $10,000 hospital bill or dying or $10,000 funeral. So just be safe. I'll probably just PayPal me. I can give you a couple email addresses you can PayPal. pressurewashhelp@gmail. I'll send it a link to you. But I'll send it to you. But got my oh yeah, that's another thing. A stabilizer works good. Like I say, your feet extension, so that way we can keep it level. They make some handrails that go on top, so that way you can walk right up and over the ladder. They work pretty good. I was talking to a guy said he likes those, so that way you're not, you're not trying to do the side thing. Um, but yeah, so that is definitely something that you can do. He's asking, do you keep the down payment or give it back if they're not interested anymore? Well, I put it as I in my agreement, I have it as a non-refundable deposit. So if they decide not to do it, then that's kind of the reason why I put it as a non-refundable deposit. So that way we can make that happen. What state do you do Christmas lights? Jake asked. Um, I was in the Cincinnati area, so we did them in Northern Kentucky. I put up lights in Northern Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana. Um, so that's where the business that I owned, that I sold, that I don't put up nowhere now. I put up in Northern Kentucky because that's my house, my mom's house, all that kind of stuff. Another thing I wanted to talk a little bit about here is if you are um, if you are I'm doing an install with a lift this weekend. I'll try to get some footage and get tutorials of sorts if people would like that. That would be good. I need to do the same thing. Um, if you are within a an hour or two of me and would like, and I could come along and do a ride along as you're installing lights, I might help a little bit, but not too much. Let me know. I would like to do a ride along and get some video. I'm planning on a couple places probably next week. I know I got some people that I've talked to, and I'm going to tell them I'm coming, whether they like it or not. No, I know one will let me come. Just because I want to get some video of some houses being installed and lights going up, and I'll probably stick around till dark time, so that way I can get the after video of it and get the video of it at nighttime. But you can do that at kingofpressurewash.com/ride along. Um, Is your mom doing better? She is. She's getting around. She's walking. Her hip is what was bad, and that is what it is. So, but she's got a new hip. She got two new knees, and I think she's ready to run around. What do you do when it's not Christmas? Um, Pressure washing. I did pressure washing. So in my training, I teach both. I teach a full year business. You can do pressure washing. If you want the both pressure washing and that, you need to go to this website here, pressurewashhelp.com/free, and it gives you both pressure washing and Christmas lights. So that's where that is. Um, and I know a lot of people that have done this here this year, making lots of money doing pressure washing and Christmas lights. I know I'm on my Christmas light channel, but Christmas lights and pressure washing, there's easy to be made $150,000-$200,000 a year, if not more. And that's starting out pretty much right out of the get go. If you, I have several people that either really close to 100,000 their very first year just in pressure washing, or have went over 100,000. So definitely do that. Have you ever worked on a famous person's house? I have worked on the owner of the Reds, the owner of the Reds, um, and I've worked at some pretty high end people, but I've never really worked. I've worked at a porn star. She was a porn star. She's like, I'm a porn star. I'm like, well, good for you. So I guess they could be famous. But you know, I've never really. I mean, I had a when I started working for All Clean, one of the other guys they had Tony Hawk. They did his house, so that was pretty cool. Go there, Jake. This fella knows how, and you will make great money if you listen and apply what he teaches. I appreciate that, Richard. What do you use to secure garland on the pillars? I always use zip ties. Zip tied it at the top and at the bottom. You can, like on this here, you can use clear ones so they don't look as bad. And you just take two zip ties and zip tie them up. That's how I always did it. That was the easiest way to do it. And this here, this house here, but this is the better picture of that house right there. Is right here. This is what that house looked like right here. So we had all the minis here going across the front here. You can see all the minis here, and then the garland on the two things, and then all the lights going around the house. But don't tell the fluffer about that. Who's the fluffers? Do we have any fluffers in here? So I'm going to jump off here. I got to get online with Mr. Michael Hinderleiter for my tonight's live. So if you want to see somebody that is very successful in pressure washing, go check out Pressure Wash Help at YouTube, and you'll find my other channel there. And he is definitely. I'm at 10K a month in pressure washing and 13,000 in lights today. That is awesome, Richard. That right there, I know that is life changing for you and your daughter, and that is what that's what I love about it. Is, you know, that is something that I know you and your daughter will be very well off by that. You should make a video this year of doing your lights if you haven't already. I have done them, and they are right here. They are called twinkly lights. I did them in twinkly lights. Right here, they're twinkly lights. You can see the two. It's got the red, white, and blue. I do have the video of them up. I haven't put nothing together, so I've got to do that. Wow, way to go, Richard. Mr. Teak. So I will be back on at 9 o'clock at pressurewashhelp.com/YouTube. And definitely go check that out. And I'll see you there. If you want, you can get 30 days free in my at christmaslightshelp.com/free. What else I got? Make sure you get your signs. christmaslightshelp.com/signs. Get them signs, get them out, get them up, and that's how you're going to make that money. Thank you, and you know it because I order through you. And I appreciate that. And I hope you all have a good night. Again, I'll be back on here shortly.